Welcome to the webinar. I'm Beatrice Lam, the Field Marketing Manager for Barracuda MSP APAC. Today we have Luke Smith. He is our Regional Account Director and he'll be your presenter today. A bit of housekeeping. This webinar should take around 30 minutes. So if you have any questions, please submit them by using the Q&A panel and we'll go through them at the very end. On that note, over to you, Luke.
Thanks, Beatrice, and thank you everyone for joining today. So what's in store for the next 30 minutes? Here's what you'll be learning today. We're going to talk about what is a multi-layered security approach. We're also going to take a look at the 3 core functions our most successful partners are using to grow their business. And we're also going to take a closer look at the importance of data protection as part of your service offerings. Before I get started, I want to ask you this. Which group do you fall into? Starting this month, we've asked these questions to our MSPs in Australia and New Zealand, and the results are on the screen. Half of them said yes, that they're planning to expand their security offerings in the next 12 months. 31% said they're unsure and 19% said no. Hopefully by the end of the webinar, I can help convert the 19% who said no to really consider adding more offerings and turning the 33% who are unsure to go for it. We believe if you don't keep up, your market share will be taken by those MSPs who are willing to take the step to expand their portfolio, and you might miss out. Be aware that there are market challenges everywhere, but now is a good time to start thinking about and preparing for your MSP growth. So what does a multi-layered security approach look like? This is our multi-layered security service offerings look like. Although it doesn't look as yummy as the rainbow layered cake I just showed you before, we believe by adopting this approach, you can help your clients to be protected. The first layer is our powerful security-centric remote monitoring and management tool. This helps you grow your business, automate your service delivery, and reduce your operational costs. Then we have our security services layer that covers email and network security, and also enables zero trust access to apps and data so that customers can work from any device and any location securely. Next is the resiliency layer, which includes your backup and disaster recovery solutions. We have this in 3 flavors. We offer a software-based backup for unlimited devices and storage. We also have a cloud-based data protection, which we'll go into further detail in the next few slides later on. And we also have an all-in-one physical or virtual backup appliance that's suitable for most solutions. The final layer is our partner services. We know that growing an MSP is hard. It's hard to find new staff, it's hard to find new customers, and it's also hard to keep abreast of the emerging technology you need to help protect your customers from the ever-evolving onslaught of threats that they're seeing. That's why we go a step above. With the ability to offer our partners a fully managed service, meaning you have more time to focus on your customers. We have Barracuda's Managed Fish Line, which is end user email security training, which helps customers meet their compliance requirements. Barracuda's Managed Firewalls will help with the implementation, will onboard you and the customer. And we also offer 24/7 security event monitoring and remediation. We have Barracuda's Managed Backup. It's a software-based backup solution. It integrates with the top-rated RMM and PSA tools around and allows monitoring and remediation via remote management. And we offer a one-on-one white glove experience to help you get that set up and manage that on your behalf. We also have knock and help desk services, whether it's a server, workstation, whether you just want device monitoring, or whether you need remediation as well. We even have the ability to offer end user support directly as well, meaning you don't need to expand your team. And the last piece of the puzzle is we do have an RMM migration team. Our team of RMM migration experts will help you configure and onboard your existing business processes into an upgraded security-centric RMM platform and experience, which we handle from the start to the finish. So what are the top 3 core functions our most successful partners are using to grow their business? We believe they create, deliver, and demonstrate their value every month. First, they create service offerings from Barracuda's MSP portfolio, which offers multi-layered security and data protection solutions to your customers. As you can see, we have a range of different products, whether they fit into your management platforms, your email protection, your application security, your network security, or your data protection. So what makes working with Barracuda MSP so different, you ask? It starts with our MSP pricing model. There are no big upfront costs with any of the appliance or services, and we charge you monthly just like your clients expect to be charged. We believe this really helps with setting that bottom line and making sure that you are making a profit. The other thing is that you'll be working with our 100% channel-only team. Our team has been focused on the MSP industry for almost 20 years. We are here for you. And lastly, I think our flexibility allows you to pick and choose which products are the best fit for you and your clients. This allows you to put their needs first and know that you are using some of the best products in the industry to help protect them. At Barracuda MSP, we offer easy-to-use security solutions that are built for MSPs. They're multi-tenanted. We have management capabilities from those multi-tenanted platforms, and it's available as a monthly subscription. And obviously, it's all available as a monthly subscription, so it'll fit in well with your customers' requirements. A big focus for us here over at Barracuda MSP is helping our partners to evolve into a security-centric MSP. The last webinar, I talked about the 3 pillars to become a security-centric MSP, and I'd encourage you to watch the on-demand video if you haven't already seen it. And for those of you who prefer to read rather than listen to me, we do actually have a white paper document that's available, which is a step-by-step guide on how you can evolve your business to become more of a security-centric MSP. Feel free to reach out to us if you'd like to see that white paper, and we'll get that sent through. And then finally, the most important thing is being able to demonstrate your value to customers. We believe this will help you answer the questions about what we did for you this month or quarter. We've also covered this topic at an earlier webinar about how to demonstrate value to your managed service customers, which you can watch on demand, or if you prefer to talk live, you can give me a call and we can arrange a meeting to discuss it. We believe that a lot of MSPs let reporting go to waste. We believe reporting needs to be set up correctly, and the reports have to point out to your customers what you're doing for them and how you demonstrate that value. We believe reports need to provide customers with information, insight, and visualization of both the state of their network and the work that the MSP has accomplished. We often find ourselves falling into a habit of just sending reports along with a monthly bill to our customers. And a lot of us let our customers interpret the report on their own, however they see fit. We really need to work together to offer some form of explanation as what these reports would look like if not for the work that the MSP does for the customer. Without that context, customers are likely just to take the good work that you do for them for granted, therefore lessening the value of what you bring to the organization in their eyes. That is why it's so key that MSPs ensure that the reports that they are sharing articulate the value versus just the work that's been done. And we've got some free tools that can help you with that. Obviously, one of the first things we recommend is a Barracuda email threat scanner. It's a free tool that'll help managed service providers detect email threats such as spear phishing, conversation hijacking, and services impersonation, among many others. It's a free sales tool. We've recently given it a facelift. Feel free to log in and check it out. We believe that the new facelift makes the reporting easier to understand and go through with your customers. And we've also got many other options for you to be able to share the document with your customers or print it out into a PDF to add to any sort of paperwork or quotations that you're using with your customers as well. It definitely does help show the need for a layered security approach. And it's a great tool which will be able to identify anything that's been received by the customer and has ended up in their inbox in the last 12 months. So just to give you guys a little bit of an idea about what we've found with this tool that we've used it. In 2020, we had over 4,500 organizations using the Barracuda email threat scanner. And they scanned approximately 2.6 million unique mailboxes. In these scans, we found over 2 million unique different attacks. On average, 512 attacks were found per organization. We found that 14% of all mailboxes had at least one email attack detected in the last 12 months. And the majority of those scams detected were phishing scams, a total of 59%. The second most common email threat type we detected was scamming at 39%, and the next is extortion at 9%. This was closely followed by business email compromise at 8%. Business email compromise attacks were less prevalent, but cyber criminals tend to send these types of attacks in smaller volumes because they are highly personalized. They leverage the information from LinkedIn and various other sources to actually be able to target the individual within an organization. So I guess what's in it for you as an MSP? With some of the tools that we've just outlined, it can help you identify the gaps in the existing email protection and access the vulnerabilities that your clients might currently have. We also find it's a powerful tool to help MSPs upsell and demonstrate value. A partner recently shared a story with us where they'd been supplying a quote where they were in a competitive situation against a couple of other partners for a particular business. And they received a phone call outlining that their email security component of their quotation was double the price of the competitors of the 2 other quotes. This partner used our email threat scan to actually run an email threat scan on the customer's tenancy and then supplied that information through to the report through to that customer. What ended up happening was 2 days later, the customer actually received a purchase order. When he went back and questioned the decision maker on that process, he was the only one who could actually show the value of outlining why they needed to spend more money on their email security solution. And he was the only one out of the 3 that was able to actually prove the need for a better security solution as well. So we do see that as great value, and it will help you upsell and demonstrate value to your customers. And the third thing to remember about the email threat scan, it's at no cost to the MSP. You don't even need to be a partner with Barracuda MSP to be able to run this solution. You can simply sign up on the website, run the scan, get an idea about what's going on. And the only catch will be is that you probably will get a phone call from me. But apart from that, there's no need or requirement for you to purchase anything from us at all. I guess now I'd like to pivot a little bit and talk about the importance of data protection as part of your service offering. So you can see where the data protection sits in our table here. It's cloud-based and it sits in the resiliency layer. The whole point of today is we want to try and help you understand how you can convince your clients that backup and disaster recovery services are essential to protect their business. And obviously we want to be able to get you and your customers thinking about, how you can best convince them that a cloud backup is required for Office 365, even if they do have retention included with their current account. So I just wanted to cover off some common misconceptions we're seeing. We hear this all the time from many partners that data is automatically backed up by Microsoft. We all need to remember that disaster recovery is not Microsoft's responsibility. Microsoft is currently only responsible for bringing you Office 365 infrastructure that supports your data. It is not responsible for the data in your Office 365 environment. Microsoft recommend that you need a third-party backup for Office 365. We also hear that customers are using Archive as their backup. And we do agree, Microsoft can provide email archiving for Office 365. We often find it's not the best service in terms of features and functionality, and it's definitely not the most cost-effective in terms of value for money. The archiving service from Microsoft can get expensive depending upon which services you purchase. Even if you have an email archiving solution in place, you should still maintain a backup and a recovery solution for Office 365. And you might be asking why. Archiving is great. It can hold and retrieve specific messages, but it cannot restore a complete mailbox and all of its contents to a single point of time. Now, just to reiterate on the Microsoft need for the third-party backup, we've included the bit of information here from the Microsoft Services Agreement. As you can see, Microsoft say that they are responsible for the availability of the application. Customers are responsible for the users, data, and administration. Microsoft even points out that it is a customer's responsibility for backing up their Office 365. Customers may not be aware of this, even though it is spelled out in the Microsoft Services Agreement. I'm sure a lot of us are like me. We've never actually sat down and read through the whole thing. It goes on for pages. Sometimes the customers are not aware that they are responsible for the backup, and it's our job to educate them. And obviously they don't really realize it's an issue until they have the need to restore something that they've accidentally deleted or lost. We all know there are lots of different ways you can lose data. Human error, which is by far one of the largest ones. We also see malicious acts, whether internal or external. This includes things such as angry employees, external hacking, viruses, and malware, and obviously ransomware as well. We also see errors within applications where things do not work as expected. And obviously there are some programmatic errors in Office as well, which could cursor. I think the key thing we want to point out here is just a little bit about the native retention that Microsoft offers so you guys can get a better understanding of what's going on there. We find that Microsoft's native retention policies can be really complex. Email has a 14 or 30-day retention. OneDrive and SharePoint up to 93 days in some cases, and Teams has another set of retention rules. When you look at these retentions policies, is 3 months maximum going to be enough for what your customers need? What happens when the CEO needs something that was deleted 94 days ago? We believe that with Barracuda's cloud-to-cloud backup, we can take this complexity and turn it into a very simple approach. We keep everything in a backup system according to one simple retention policy. We retain everything from when the service is turned on. This way, admins do not need to worry about retaining their data in case it's lost. It will be in their backup for as long as they want. So now just to talk a little bit more about Barracuda's cloud-to-cloud backup for Office 365. Easiest thing to answer is, what is it? Well, it's an easy-to-use software as a service solution that provides a comprehensive, cost-effective and scalable backup and recovery solution for all your Microsoft Office 365 data, which includes your Exchange Online, SharePoint, OneDrive, and Teams. And just to thank everybody out there who is a customer, we've actually seen CCB grow almost 200% in the last 6 months. So great job for everyone out there who is selling these services out to their customers. We all know they definitely do need it. Now, just to give you a little bit of information about it, it's really easy. With CCB, you can take your prospects from sign up to backup in 5 minutes or less. We continue to offer products with unlimited storage and unlimited retention. Meaning you're not going to get tricked into a price increase in 12 months when we need to increase the retention for you and your clients. And cloud-to-cloud backup has a very simple licensing model. So now let's talk a little bit about the value of Barracuda's cloud-to-cloud backup. Obviously, we offer a comprehensive data protection service, which includes your Office 365. As we pointed out earlier, there's that unlimited storage and retention. We have granular recovery options. It's very easy to deploy. You can take a prospect to be signed up and set up in under 5 minutes. And it obviously helps you easily expand data protection services and obviously includes covering off Office 365 for you and your customers. The other thing is that the new version of cloud-to-cloud backup for Office 365 has been co-developed with Microsoft. This actual version came out of a hackathon event between Microsoft engineers and Barracuda's own engineers to obviously improve our product and bring it online more. It's now hosted in Azure, which means it's quicker, faster, and easier for us all to get the data out that we need. It also gives us a greater choice of regions of where we store the data. Those regions include Australia, Canada, Japan, US, the UK, Germany, and even Western Europe as well. It's led by an API-first development. It offers better performance and scalability. As I mentioned earlier, there's no upfront cost for you to join this. It's a software as a solution, a software as a service solution. It will grow with you as your business grows. And lastly but not leastly, the unlimited retention. Some of the highlights that we have on the cloud-to-cloud backup is full SharePoint support, which includes your lists, your metadata, and full site recovery. We even have the ability for you to download the SharePoint into one zip file if you need to. We offer you the ability for Exchange and archive mailboxes, so you can back up and recover the archive mailboxes in Office 365. We bring in the ability for advanced search and filtering. E-discovery makes our lives so much easier. Rather than have a look at a point of time or look for a little bit of information with e-discovery, it's much like a Google search. You can get that information up quickly and concisely. And the other thing is we obviously have the ability for granular teams recovery. You know, we can recover a full team within a few clicks or specific wiki files from the team, depending upon what your requirements are. I've used it, Teams, and I know how easy it is to delete a channel. Very simple, very easy. This makes a great way if that does happen, that you can actually recover that for your customer. As I mentioned, we offer massive scalability for Office 365 with our data hosted in Azure. The information's there, ready for you. It's a cloud native software as a service solution, and we've built it from the ground up. The product is available on its own. It's also available as part of our Essentials or Total Email Protection bundles as well. So if you'd like to know more about how it all fits in, more than happy to jump on a conversation to discuss this all with you further. So just want to bring back this slide. Are you still unsure or saying no? Hopefully we've been able to answer some of the questions that inspired you to say yes, that you are going to look at expanding your security offerings in the next 12 months. We do believe it's important. And obviously, as we've seen the growth of the threats coming through to our customers over the last 12 to 18 months, I think it's definitely worth having these discussions with your clients. I'm still hearing of clients out there with Office 365 who don't even enable dual factor authentication. There's many partners out there who report back to me that their customers aren't running email security or may not be interested in security services as well. I definitely think it is a discussion that needs to be had with your customers. And as we've seen from some of the recent events that have occurred around the market, you know, we are seeing that these attacks are becoming less individualized and they are targeting more people at once. I think the other thing we should also point out is we've seen like the recent Exchange hack that happened recently. The bad guys are looking at the low-hanging fruit. They are looking for our partners who aren't working with us to upgrade their security. They're not interested in breaking into the companies that have very heavy security. They're trying to make this process as simple for them as possible in order to gain the most money with the least amount of work through their projects. So just to recap, you don't need to purchase our whole stack, but you can pick and choose the right products that enable you to build a preferred solution for your customers to help them with the desired security posture. And another thing that we think separates us from a lot of our competitors is basically the way that we look at onboarding our partners. So the process of dealing with us generally will involve a half-hour to an hour call with our sales engineer once you've expressed some interest in learning more about the product. During that session, you'll have access to our sales engineer to ask any technical questions. He'll also guide you through the product, give you an idea of how the management portal works, and also give you an understanding about some of the features that we have within our range of products. From this point, if it's something that you'd like to explore further, we can make some NFR trial licenses available for you to use internally so you can complete a proof of concept. At the point that you sign up for those licenses, we just don't send you out a manual that tells you how to provision and install our product. We'll actually send you out a meeting request where you'll actually be able to spend an hour and a half with Matt Caffrey, our SE, where we'll guide you through the process of onboarding. During this session, we'll actually highlight, setting the product up, best practices as from Barracuda, and also give you some information about how to gain further information about our products, learn more about our Barracuda campus if you want to learn more about educating yourself and your team, and also cover off any other things that you might need. During that time, we'll then check in with you weekly after that just to make sure the product is performing as required. And then from there, we then generally enter into discussions about whether there's an opportunity to sell the product to your customers and how we bundle or build that product up to make it something that's suitable for you to go out and on selling to your customers. So I guess the next step for those of you who have joined us today, I definitely would love for you to run the email threat scan. It's definitely a great tool. It's a tool that will give you the ability to see what's bypassed your current security solution in the last 12 months. And it's also a tool that will enable you to have a discussion with your client around their security posture. And you'll actually be able to provide them with real factual information via the report, which is something that I think is lacking when we have these conversations with clients. Generally, those conversations start with, how's your email going? Are you seeing anything odd? And then we go into a pitch. It makes it a lot easier when you actually have a detailed report. So you actually have a conversation, explain exactly what's going on in that customer's Office 365 tenancy. And obviously you can supply that report to them so they can digest it as well. One thing you will find is any of the emails or any of the threats that we do highlight in there, if you go check the time and the date and the mailbox it's in, if you go back to the client's Office 365 tenancy, you will find the email there. The risk with those still residing in the mailbox is at any given point of time that somebody does click on those, it could start an incident, which would affect the company. The next thing I'd recommend is obviously download our white papers. We spend a lot of time putting this information together, and we find our most successful partners download and get a lot of information from these. So I'd definitely recommend you taking a look into it. You may not be wanting to take all the steps that we've pertained in the document, but I'm definitely sure that it'll either jog your creative juices where you'll start thinking about what you're doing, and it might even give you some insight onto what your competitors are doing so you can better work with your products to be a better fit with your customers as well. Definitely, if you're interested in learning more about our security offering, our layered approach, or becoming a security-centric MSP, you can either book a call with myself or my sales engineer, Matt. More than happy to guide you through the process, take you through all of the products in more detail, and have a discussion about how we can take those next steps to help you improve your local security as well. And obviously the last one, book a call with me as well. More than happy to jump on a phone and discuss what we offer and how we've helped a lot of our partners grow during this time. So we've been here in Australia for just under 2 and a bit years, even though Barracuda MSP is over 5 years old worldwide. And in that time, we've grown our partner base from over 20 partners to over 260. So I'd like to thank everybody who's on the call today who has recently become a partner. You obviously helped us grow, and we're continuing to push and grow to spread the story about how you can become more of a security-centric MSP. Lastly but not leastly, we do have some great resources. I bang on about these a lot for those of you who join me quite often. Definitely do check them out. We have the barracudamsp.com. It's a great resource, lots of bite-sized articles about sales, marketing, and business resource and planning. It's a great way to get an understanding about what your competitors are doing. It's also a great way to get those creative juices flowing. whilst we're planning for our business to grow in the next 12 up to 18 months. We also have Barracuda Security Insights. This information is fed live through the Barracuda Trust Network. So all of our products, whether it's email security, firewalls, or WAF, all feed back to our security insights. Our security endpoints are updated every 15 minutes. So we don't wait daily. We don't download signature files. We update each of those every 15 minutes with anything relevant that's come through. This site here is a great way of discussing with your customers where the threats are coming from, and obviously having a look at where you should be focusing on. For those of you who can see the screen there, you will notice that the total amount of threats on that picture there is close to 499,000 that we've discovered in that 24-hour period, and 480,000 of them came via email. When I first started with Barracuda, the numbers between email, web, and network were a lot lower. So email was about 60%, with web being about 20 and network being about 20 as well. As you can see from that report there, we have seen this has changed. Email is definitely the largest threat vector we are seeing, and we do know that 93% of incidents do start with email. So I guess that's why we push so hard on getting you guys into securing your customers' email, because if you can stop those threats, it means less work for you and a customer who's got more uptime and a happier customer for all of us as well. Lastly but not leastly, I also recommend you check out Smarter MSP. Subscribe today. Once again, it is a great website. We share a lot of information with our MSPs. We get industry experts in to also discuss. Not only is there information on sales and marketing there, there's also a lot of information on business resources and how you can grow as well. So I'd like to thank everybody for your time today and see if there's any questions at all.
Great. Thank you, Luke, for showing us the multi-layer security approach and the cloud-to-cloud backup solution. And the first question is from Kevin. Do you see a lot of partners using all the layers?
It really depends on the customer and the focus. So we have many customers who use our whole layered approach. And we also have many customers who may just use one or two components to plug holes in their existing solutions as well. I think we're a really good solution that we do have that flexibility where you don't need to take the whole stack with Barracuda in order to sell our services. And I think that's really beneficial for a lot of people out there is, you know, what one customer's need within your base might be could be very different to all the rest of your customers. And we give you the flexibility that you can actually supply each of those individual customers with exactly what they need versus just supplying them a bundle which may not fit their needs.
Thank you, Luke. The next question is from Brad. For your knock and help desk services, how does the licensing work?
Rightio. With our knock and help desk services, you will need to be a partner or a member of Barracuda's RMM. So in order to get those services going, you'll need to license those endpoints so we can actually monitor them remotely. And then from there, we can bolt on the knock and the help desk services as required. The beautiful thing about it is we can actually have them set up to a site level, which means that you can have some customers on your RMM that have no knock or help desk services, and you can actually have other customers that do have those bolt-ons available to them. So the knock services are sold as a per seat license. They do cover multiple devices per user, which is handy. We all know that everybody's using more than one device now. And we do have various levels within that space. So we go everywhere from being able to report the incident to you to the second or third level of licensing where we can actually remediate for it for you as well on your behalf, and then just submit the ticket back to you to let you know that we've had the issue, we've resolved the issue, and that you can move on forward. So if you'd like to learn more about that, feel free to reach out. We're happy to have a chat to you and show you how that product and service works.
Great, thanks for that. And next, Andy would like to see the email threat scanner link. Can you just go back to that slide? Okay, yes, yeah. Awesome.
Thank you. My apologies.
You did very well today. And the next question is from Jim. What is the link to the white paper? I'll take that one. Sorry, I should put a link in the slide. Keep an eye for a follow-up email. I will definitely include the link for the white paper in that email. And next question, Jerry is asking, what does your trial period look like? I believe you have already gone through that just now.
Yep. Jerry, with the trial period, we generally run our trial period for 30 days with licenses. Obviously, we help get you set up originally in the piece, which means that your onboarding process becomes a lot quicker. And then generally we try to work to a 30-day sort of program where we'll work through it, work through any challenges that you might see popping up. And hopefully at the end of that, we'll pass all your tests and we can have a discussion about possibly offering the products out to your clients.
Great, thank you. And we do have a couple of people asking for pricing. We'll get back to you on this question.
We'll get that followed up later.
Yeah, definitely. Great. So those are all the questions we have. Thank you for your questions. And one last thing, there will be a survey popping up once you exit the webinar. It would be great if you can spare a minute or two to fill that in. And yeah, on that note, we can wrap everything up. We are right on time.
Thank you very much for all joining us.
Yeah. Thank you, Luke. Have a great day,
Thank you.
everyone. Cheers.